Alright, today I'm going to do a copy of a Sargent. So, just going to put this down here so I get a little bit of a mixing area. And I'm just going to draw this, a little bit of burnt umber. Alright, so the beauty of this Sargent, besides it being a Sargent, is that, man, he just shows that he's like the master of design when you see this, and there's definitely just a simplicity to it, but it doesn't mean it's not great. It's actually pretty exquisite. So I'm going to see what I can do here for getting this. Maybe I'll add a color. Nah, maybe not. I don't know if I can get the violet that I kind of see. There we go. Cool. Alright, so I'm going to just get some mineral spirits. See about just washing this in. And then the simple wash-in is going to be a nice, just quick way to get the drawing down. And then I'm going to go back over the top and see if I can thicken the paint. So let's just see. Great way to just see how good your drawing skills are here. Wonderful place to play. There it is. Just a interplay here of light shadow. Look how simple this thing is, right? Up, over. Again, let's just get the simple design down. I'm using lead white. A flat brush. Again, the essence, I think, of what these are is all about just the study. You know, and also just to realize how simple paintings really can be boiled down to. You can almost boil this down to a lesson in, in just abstraction. All right, before I get too far, I'm just gonna get the shape in. Got a little black on the side in case I need it. Gotta build it tonally. Alright. It's funny because the Prussian pulls it towards cyan. The alizarin pulls it back over and you get back into a blue. But we need a little bit on the purple side, or I'd like it over there. You know, sometimes you need color down to gauge which way you need to tip it, which is the way I like to paint. Alright, that's got a nice little warm, cool kind of going on now. And here comes over, this comes in. Look at that's all darker right there, and then just make that note. Again, perfect, like kind of low stakes place to learn how to be bold. Doesn't have to be perfect, but why not do it on a low stakes painting like something like this? And just imagine the beautiful little abstraction you'll have when you can kind of put this on your wall and have a nice little dialogue with it. Towards green. This is all darker. It's too much. Sometimes even in the incorrectness of what you put down, it's like the color's pushed. I wonder how good the print is, or the image that I'm working from. Like, is there something new that I'm able to kind of bring to it? It's a nice, interesting kind of yellow. I'll reel that in. I want to keep going here. Look at how just simple this is. But it's got a beautiful, beautiful, warm, cool going on the whole thing. Guarantee you he was using lead white. It's funny, it's like the more you look, the more you feel. You see more. Great place to be bold, or try being bold, especially if you don't have it in you to be bold. Just leave it. What's the worst that could happen? Nothing. Bad painting, did it quick, possibly throw it away. But good painting, new way of thinking, brilliance, I think, in these studies. All right. Let's pull a little more. The beautiful thing about this lead white is this gets kind of gobbled up in the mixtures. So you can just mix it, build it, grab more paint. Titanium would just kill this. It's right there. I got both on here. I like them both. But just gonna search a little more. Maybe there's a little more purple in there. And again, it's sometimes you're just figuring out like a new mixture that you may use. Maybe you have more time and you want to spend more time on it. Maybe you don't. Maybe the time you give it could dictate a different method because you're doing it quicker. It's also why, sometimes I'll just go out and landscape paint. I'm not even a landscape painter. Not trying to even be one. But there's always a dialogue that can happen if you're open to it. And enhance your work for indoors. Definitely a wet into wet method. All right. Keep going here. using the flatness of the brush to work with me. All right, feels like there's a little purple. Getting a little too black there. I wonder what Sargent, his thoughts were when he was painting. There's that right there, peak, come down. He painted with Monet, pretty fascinating. And he went to Monet, I believe, and he said, what are you doing? And he basically asked what if he could study with him. And pretty sure that Monet said sure and gave him his palette. He said, "Where's your black?" He said, "We don't have black." And a lot of Impressionist palettes just don't have it on there. There's even a quote by, I think it's Renoir. It says, "One of us ran out of black or forgot black in the studio. Impressionism was born." Pretty fascinating. So, I don't know. Give it a shot. See what you think of it. Use black. Don't use black. I was always taught not to, but I think there's plenty of reason to use it. So, I think it's up to you all to try it. Soften all that up a little bit. Definitely a big level of abstraction happening in there. Probably did this so quick too. I don't think I'm helping by doing it slower. That I think that a lot of the marks can only be made sometimes in the spirit, which is why we're sometimes studying it in a different way. There we go. Just pull this over, down. Interesting design. Of course, it's, he still could have made decisions based off of what he saw. Who knows? Maybe he left some out or added or painted exactly what he saw. Who knows? All right. Let's get the door in. High chroma, that is. Bring this over. And then definitely like a big wet end of wet going on in there. This is just a kind of a random palette too. This is did the Wyeth painting. Use that palette. Just figure why not. So it's sometimes like maybe you can learn something and just using what you got. Sometimes I just feel like it's a luxury to be able to have whatever, the supplies. Like if someone gave you their palette, could you do something with it? Always considering that as a perspective, like, I don't know. Well, let's try. Door frame up. Right. Look at that. Very vibrant. Bring a little more of that blue in. Very soft edges too when you're painting with a lead. It's like that's the blue. It's like, finally arrived at it. That's it. Backloaded brush. Pull this over. There we go. And touch of mineral spirits just to loosen it a little bit. Dab into it a little bit. Cool. I mean, that's the design right there. Pretty crazy. So simple. It's so beautiful. Pull in some of the yellow. Crazy, the brush is tainted with the Prussian blue. That's fine though. There we go. Just about it for the light. And you can keep going into it if you want. It's kind of nice the way it is. Obviously that patch right there should be covered, but doesn't have to be perfect. Again, let time help you make decisions if you're having trouble with, over detail. I think a lot of us are. Alright, let's put a little of this in. It's kind of like, seems like it's what makes the whole thing. Like that little bit of drawing there. For me, it's like if I were to go do something similar, I would probably study Sargent, just to see about the marks. Not to do the same painting, of course, but to be able to study somebody who's, especially if I'm looking to simplify, be something I would definitely be looking at. That's kind of the painting. Can add, of course. He breaks it up. That's a simple, beautiful thing that he's doing. And again, there's like a kinship when you're doing this, where you feel like you're able to figure out why, rather than have like no detail over here, he puts a little to just suggest. Breaking it up a little, tapping, I think of brushwork too. Just the right amount of detail in the painting. Like right there, just coming down with a line to define like a moment. Where can you use that? That's the question. So that's a kind of a simple version of the Sargent, but I think it's kind of there.